Carol here, and welcome back to my crafter, and we're going to finish up this beautiful card that I made on the previous video on the Prima Opal acrylic paints. They're beautiful, and we already did the white card base, so I'm going to use the Melissa Francis 6x6 pad. Number one, because it has all the soft tones in it, and I really liked it, and I like the stripe on that one page that we're going to use that, the diagonal stripe right there, and we're going to use some little elements on here. I cut this out with the thought of putting in the inside of the card an envelope, so it looked like an envelope, and I wanted to use the word hello. So it had the colors that were on the flowers, so I thought that was really nice. And I'm cutting along these little dotted lines on this element. It's nice to be able to apply things like this from a 6x6 pad, because you get to use up all those papers that you have lying around in the 6x6 pads. Oh my, I have so many of them. So I thought I'm going to make a little tag with this in just a minute with my black cardstock. So I cut this other piece on the diagonal stripe. This one's pink and it's turquoise, the one that I use on the background. And it was wonderful to be able to use some papers from 6x6 pads on this. And I used my stamp of approval kit from over on Catherine Pooler's site, Stamp Nation. And I just love this set. I use it often, and I'm going to use it on this card. And I'm going to use that beautiful stripe right there. It matches perfectly. So here we go. I'm going to cut it down with my Fiskars little trimmer, and this trimmer is amazingly sharp for such an inexpensive little cutter. It's nice to have. It fits on your desk nicely. So I'm looking at it here and wondering which one of these sentiments are going to fit, and I have the long one there, and I'll tell you what it is in just a minute. And then I'm going to stamp on the vertical stripe, which is really nice. It's nice to stamp on colored cardstock. I put it up higher so it had a different element, different effect. And I'm using some black detailed powder right there. And it says, "You make me so happy." Pretty sure that's what yeah, "You make me so happy." That's what it says there. And yes, it is very late when I'm doing this again. I'm doing my video voiceover and editing. I'm taking my 1/2-inch ATG gun and I am putting it on the black cardstock with just a little wee bit of the black showing. I thought it really set off the beautiful Prima paints, and look how thin. I wanted you to see how wonderful that little trimmer is. If you use your coupon, it is very inexpensive at Michael's. So here I'm setting in on that beautiful diagonal stripe piece of paper, and this has kind of got a little bit of a vintage feel to it compared to the first card. And then I got out some of my vintage finds, this wonderful thread. Oh, it is so spring-like in the colors. I love vintage finds. When you go to the thrift stores and you find these little pieces of thread and ribbons and twine, so many wonderful elements. So I grabbed my ATG 1/2-inch gun again. This is really sticky glue. I just love it, and I haven't used it for a long time, so I was really glad to start getting it out and using it. And this is very stretchy twine, and it's nice. You put it on the back with your tape, and when you put it down onto your paper, it just goes on nicely, and you're not going to lose it there. It's not going to run up and down on your card. And I ended up standing for this card, as you can see. I stand for most of them, it seems, and I have a nice big chair sitting right behind me, but I decided to stand and create this card. Sorry, it was a little off there, and I'm cutting it down to just a little wee knot because I'm going to tie some matching spring colors in a bow. So I grab one of my little glue dots, my Stampin' Up! Glue dots, and I put it underneath there, and oh, look at that, we're growing a little flower right here. Love this set, this corner garden set by Stampin' Up! Really pretty stamp. And now I'm grabbing the green and the pink to match the colors in the flowers, and I'm tying it in a tiny little bow. And this is just, it's kind of like a clean and simple vintage feel card. I really enjoyed making this one, and I tied it into a really cute bow right there. And this is from Vintage Threads. And then once I put my little glue dot on there, that will be secure. Isn't it something how we use two different, we used the white cardstock and the black cardstock, the same stamp and the same paints, the Prima Opal Acrylic paints, yet we have such different looks on the card. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that opal acrylic paint. I can't tell you enough how wonderful it is, and the soft colors that came out there, really pretty. And now I'm taking my dollar store foam and cutting it down, putting it on the back. It gives me just the right amount of dimension sitting up on my cardstock, I think. You know, instead of having it with the tape runner, the roll of double-sided tape. And here I set my sediment on the black cardstock. I use a piece of double-sided tape. I cut it off, and I only put it on the top. That way it's secure on the black cardstock so that I can cut it with the trimmer. And then I'm going to make a flag end on it right there. And I think it just, I like the black on a white cardstock when you're using colors that are soft like this. So I just started on the corners and worked my way to the center to make a nice tag. And we're moving on. Well, I'm going to take this little banner and I'm going to put it on the top because it goes along with the rule of thirds. I think putting it on the top, and then the stretchy rib twine is on the third of the thirds. Yeah, it just looked nice. How's that? I just thought it looked nice on the top. And I like the element of black behind there and behind the card. I just really love those Prima paints. I can't tell you enough on how they are so vivid yet so soft in color. So I'm going to put down the stamp Girlfriend, trying to figure out where I'm going to put it right there. And I like it because the foam's behind there, behind the cardstock, so it makes it really nice to put your stamp down and to get a nice, oh, yep, here comes our little flower. I love growing these little flowers on this side. Yeah, so here I take my embossing powder and whoops, look at there, spilt it all over the desk. Yeah. Well, after I clean that up and I'm cleaning up the little wee strays on my embossing powder, we're going to heat set that. I'm going to clean my embossing powder off. I can't tell you how many times this happens. And then I just swipe it into the garbage pail there underneath my desk, and we're going to move on. I'm going to get out my little sequins, and isn't that pretty? I'm going to just heat set Girlfriend, and I just looking at this while I'm editing, it's such a pretty card. That Prima acrylic paint, I just so happy that I purchased it. It's such a new item, and really pretty. That's all I have to say. You can't go wrong if you purchase any of that. It's really sweet. And here I'm putting all of my sequins on, and I put the new lid from, remember I got this Ranger lid for the multi-medium matte glue, and the Ranger glue, and it works really well. I really like it. I like the new lid that Ranger has, the detailed lid for the glue. You can see that I put it on there. It's lying right there, yes. And I'm able to pick them out of the little containers, and which is nice. And then we're going to move on to scoring the card. The actual size was a little bit bigger and longer, so I had to make my own card base. And like I always tell you, this is the Michaels 120-pound cardstock in black. It is so thick and wonderful. I love it. And I'm putting 1/2-inch double-sided tape here, and I scored it at 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to fold it down, and we're going to have a card. Yes, a specialized card. I love making these. You don't have to stick to an A2 size card. I like them actually a little bigger because then you can make your own envelope. And yeah, just press it down. Take your bone folder, and I love this bone folder here. Doesn't make any marks on there. So, you know, the shiny marks that you get sometimes with my other bone folders. And now I'm putting double-sided 3-inch tape on the back of the foam. I don't want any of these elements to fall off. So I love the Suquang double-sided tape. And now I'm using up my 1/2-inch tape. This is going to be the last of it right there. Couldn't get any more off. And boy, that tape lasted me a long time. Those rolls are wonderful. And I put it on top of the black cardstock, and the fold is on the back so you don't see it there on the front. There we go. Pressing it down. Oh yeah, there we are. Isn't that cute? Now we're going to open it up, and I noticed that I didn't get it butt right up to the fold. But all you have to do here, because you have that glue runner, is put some baby powder on there, rub it right into the glue so that it'll never stick when you're opening and closing it. I took a baby wipe to wipe off the cardstock, and that'll dry really nice. And I'm going to add some more firmness to the cardstock with a total sheet of the matching stripe on the slant there. And I'm taking off the measurement on the cutter there. And this is kind of like a nice relaxing card. And I appreciate you stopping by and sharing it with me, that we can just relax together and watch a card being assembled. And I think it came out nice and soft and crisp and vintage as well. It had the vintage element, and I'm putting it down so that the stripes are on the vertical there. Isn't that pretty? So you have the same color tones on the outside and the inside. Whoa, I don't know what happened there. Sorry. And then I am taking my Copic marker, and I am going out along the sides. It's not the pure black, it's the deepest gray. And I think it was well, it could have been the 110 marker, I'm not sure. And I'm distressing this little tag that I make. It had a little wee piece with the flowers on it. And I thought it would look really nice to cut it out with black on the bottom and showing a little square piece of flowers, because the flowers were in the front of the card, right? The stamp set, the corner garden, and this little piece of vintage flower on the tag. I thought just add it. It's those little things, isn't it, that you add to a card? Just the little niceties that you put on it that just make it so sweet. And there you have it. You have your tag, and now I'm putting some going around the edges. I don't like any of the white cardstock showing, and when it's vintage there, I just like to take off the white cardstock, and we are going to put some glue on that little element there, and then the hello. And I think it came out really cute. And now I'm taking some of the Ranger glue and putting it on the back, lifted it up with one of my dollar store foam again. Just gives you the right amount of lift. I took out some hearts out of my stash, a little black one right there, and 2 gold ones in a different size, so we have 3 on there. You always want to keep odd numbers with your elements. And then I'm going to put the hello with the Ranger glue underneath the tag, and we are going to be complete, my friends, on this card. And I appreciate you stopping by and looking at the Ranger, the new acrylic opal paint. I really did like it. So you have yourself a blessed weekend, and we will see you on the next card video. Take care, everybody.